Developers of Shiba Inu just revealed something significant, and nobody is prepared for what it means. Nevertheless, the figures are mounting. Tech, BlackRock, and Saudi Arabia have big news. Shiba Inu is at the center of it all. They're pointing fingers at us. A daring forecast for the price, and a price goal that has the potential to completely turn the market upside down. Is this the time we've been anticipating? Alright, let me clarify. Welcome to Dr. Crypto, your daily serving of Shiba. This is the spot for you if you're curious about anything related to Shiba. If you want to keep informed about all the latest news forecasts and stay ahead of the crypto industry, subscribe. To get more Shib news, be sure to click the like button. Please note that by the time you see this video, some rates may have changed. Financial advice is not included in this video. The cryptocurrency market continues to go completely insane. Costs are rising, green lights are blazing on the charts. It seems as if no one is applying the brakes. There are many individuals waiting for a correction at the moment, standing on the sidelines, some kind of retreat, due of how quickly everything has been rising. And take this, Bitcoin recently reached the $110,000 milestone once again. Despite this, the market is still growing. In fact, it's becoming faster, and a major event involving Shiba Inu occurred in the midst of all of this chaos. Even though the cryptocurrency market is booming, Shiba Inu has been quietly surviving. Indeed, it is demonstrating significant strength at a time when a significant reset appears to be taking place elsewhere. Trading activity on Shiba Inu has increased significantly lately. However, not just anywhere. We are discussing the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance. Despite a minor decline of 3% in global Shiba Inu trading volume, the situation on Binance is quite different. Trading on Binance is rapidly gaining momentum. A mere glance at the two most traded Shiba Inu pairings on the marketplace reveals that almost $97 million has been exchanged between them. That's equivalent to more than 6.2 billion Shiba Inu changing hands. Such a loudness is insane. The fact that there is genuine demand for the token is evident from this, and they're not only holding, they are trading vigorously. And it's a huge issue, really. In a market overrun with hype tokens and meme currencies, Shiba Inu is now outperforming its competitors. What's even more amazing is that it's doing this on a network as big as Binance. This kind of exercise and concentration is crucial for Shiba Inu. It's no longer simply about community or memes at this point. Proving that Shiba Inu belong in the major leagues is the goal. More eyes on the coin, more liquidity, and greater growth potential are all indicators of high trading volume. Shiba Inu are a clear indication that they are here to stay. Actually, it may be just beginning. But why the fanfare? What is happening? But there's more going on behind the curtains than simply trade volumes and price charts. Trump's recent trip to Saudi Arabia is one of the most prominent headlines at the moment. The Shiba Inu project team is surprisingly listening as well. One important voice on the Shiba Inu team, Lucy, provided some ideas that are really getting people to think. In short, she said that the current state of affairs between the United States and Saudi Arabia is not only political, but historic. We're seeing enormous capital, she said. Consider how major firms like BlackRock begin to embrace AI, avant-garde technology, and cutting-edge innovation. It's not a tiny change. The next 10 years will be shaped by this type of nonsense. She said it clearly. Most people won't realize the full scope of this until it has already occurred. When you see how rapidly nations like Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates are developing and implementing new technology, everything begins to make sense. In the meanwhile, she criticized Europe, stating that they are lagging behind and should concentrate more on economic development. Let's now make the connection. For crypto, why is any of this important? What is the significance of this for Shiba Inu? Here's the problem, however. Coins are no longer the only aspect of crypto. Global strategy is starting to include it. Blockchain is a logical byproduct of nations and large enterprises investing heavily in technology, innovation, and digital infrastructure. Crypto is among them. Additionally, this is significant for a project like Shiba Inu, which is always changing and has its own blockchain ecosystem and practical applications. Crypto initiatives linked to this concept might prosper if wealthy and innovative areas like Saudi Arabia embrace this trend. Perhaps the Shiba Inu squad is listening for that reason. They are not only observing markets, they're keeping an eye on the developing future, not to mention the current agreement between the UAE and Shiba Inu. It seems that this is a strategy rather than simply hype. However, most individuals won't really understand the magnitude of this until it has already occurred, as Lucy said, and as a result, the rest of the globe is now in a frenzy. It's that classic crypto FOMO. Everyone is attempting to interpret the signals, forecast the future, and determine the direction of this situation before it's too late. Naturally, the crazy price projections start flying again when that type of energy enters the area. There is now a lot of talk about Shiba Inu reaching 1 cent or 10 cents. This time, however, one number appears more often than the others. 1/10 of a penny. All of a sudden, everyone is talking about that forecast. Certainly, many naysayers continue to roll their eyes. Such forecasts have been made previously. Now, however, this is the difference. With Bitcoin surpassing the 110,000 mark and the recent events in Saudi Arabia, this prophecy now makes sense. Blind hope is no longer the only option. A genuine discourse is beginning to emerge. What is that reasoning then? Why are some beginning to think that this price may now be achievable? Since Bitcoin has once again surpassed the 110K level, a significant event has occurred. Its whole market value skyrocketed to an astounding $2 trillion, and everything is different because of it. This is one of the main arguments that critics have made against Shiba Inu's 10th of a cent dream. Shiba Inu would have a larger market capitalization than Bitcoin if it ever hit that level. That just isn't feasible. When the market capitalization of Bitcoin was less, it would have seemed plausible. But now, not that quick. Let's have a look at it. Shiba Inu's market value is at slightly about $8 billion. At $2.3 trillion, Bitcoin, on the other hand, is sitting good and is still growing. What if Shiba Inu did, in fact, reach that magical number, tenths of 1 penny? It would take around $589 billion in current supplies for Shiba Inu to reach that level. It is a huge leap, higher than it is currently by more than 70 times, but the secret is right here. Shiba Inu's market capitalization would still be much less than Bitcoin's, despite that enormous increase, not half at all. Bitcoin would still be more than 3 times as big in actuality. What does this tell us then? The 10th of a penny pricing isn't as absurd as it formerly seemed. It's not investment advice, but Shiba Inu could theoretically reach that price and still trail Bitcoin by a wide margin. It wouldn't have to become the most popular cryptocurrency to do this. Naturally, there's a catch. Cryptocurrency markets are not isolated entities. Bitcoin most likely won't simply sit there if Shiba Inu does take off like that. Even if it climbs more slowly, it will probably do the same. This might indicate that the difference between the two genuinely remains or even widens. However, things become complicated when individuals start mentioning even more ambitious goals, like half a cent or a whole cent. Shiba Inu's value would exceed $3 trillion at half a cent, and that's more than $6 trillion at 1 penny. Shiba Inu would surpass Bitcoin in popularity at such levels. Things begin to seem surreal at that point. Considering the state of the market and supply, at least. Unless Bitcoin has another significant upswing, such as a 3-fold or more increase in value, those very high Shiba Inu cost projections begin to push the boundaries of what is realistic. The bottom line, however, is this. Reaching the 10th of a cent, it's not a crazy fantasy anymore. The math is accurate, and in a marketplace that is always changing, with significant changes occurring globally, that little figure suddenly doesn't appear so far. However, it takes more than simply market capitalization and figures to reach that 10th of a cent target. Additionally, the project's supporters are important, and Lucy sent a powerful signal to the community, making it plain. She made a direct appeal to Shiba Inu owners, stating, We need genuine Shiba Inu owners to be more vocal. I hope they post more often. With all the exchanges included, there are 1.5 million holders. Come on, say something. She is correct, to be honest. Along the road, many Shiba Inu soldiers lost their fire as the market became calm and the enthusiasm subsided. Shiba Inu have lost the support of the same society that previously helped them gain popularity and become viral. But the initial foundation of this campaign was the enthusiasm, the memes, the tweets, and the grassroots support. It's time to revive it now more than ever. That wasn't the end of Lucy. Additionally, she made a statement that really connects all of our previous conversations. She said that there would be fewer coins and more genuine dApps and chances for holders once decent, honest developers get together. And it's strong. Shiba Inu isn't only attempting to be another token on a long series of memes, according to this. For those who believe in it, it is striving for genuine worth, progress, and usefulness. And it begins to make sense when you relate it to current events throughout the world, such as the explosion of innovation in Saudi Arabia and the migration of large sums of money into technologies like cryptocurrency. On social media, it's not just about making your voice heard. The goal is to support a project that is really creating something. Less tokens that aren't useful, more practical systems, applications, and tools that have the power to transform the way people utilize cryptocurrency. In this way, Shiba Inu reach new heights. Action, solidarity, and genuine progress, not just rhetoric, but how do you feel about this? Post a comment below. The day is over now. Remember to give it a big thumbs up. To see our most recent material, share it and subscribe to the channel.